Assalamu alaikum, dear students. Hope all of you are fine. Welcome to your history class. Dear students, as you know that we have been doing the problems that Pakistan faced right after partition. We learned some important points related to the problems that Pakistan faced right after the partition. So far, we have learned about geographical, political, economic, and social problems that Pakistan and India faced right after the partition. And we also learned that how Redcliffe Award created difficulties for both India and Pakistan, how it was unacceptable for both India and Pakistan. Today, we are going to learn the accession of the princely states and the matters related to it. So let's get started. There were 462 princely states in the subcontinent. And these princely states were independent entities, although they have to obey British rulers in certain important matters, for example, defense, communication, and economic matters. But overall, these princely states were independent entities. The princes or the nawabs or the rulers in these princely states were all in all in their respective states. So Lord Mountbatten knew that it wasn't an easy task to divide these princely states between India and Pakistan. So he wanted to reach a solution. So he decided to give the right to choose between India and Pakistan to these princely states. Right? He gave them a choice that they are free to either join India or Pakistan. So there were certain princely states that declared independence and they joined Pakistan. These states include Dir, Swat, Chitral, Am, Hunza, Gilgit, Kalat, and Sylhet in the East Pakistan. Sylhet is located in the East Pakistan. All the other states were located in the West Pakistan. But there were certain other states which created difficulties and issues. So let's have a look at those states. First, we will talk about Hyderabad. Hyderabad was the largest princely state of the subcontinent. Its population was 160 million people, and it generated a revenue of over 160 million rupees. So it generated a huge sum of money as a revenue, and it was one of the wealthiest states in the subcontinent. So, of course, both India and Pakistan were casting covetous eyes on this state. However, the ruler or the Nazim of this state was a Muslim, but it consisted of mainly Hindus. Right? The residents of Hyderabad were mainly Hindus. They were in majority. However, the ruler was a Muslim. In the beginning, he wanted to be an independent ruler. He neither wanted to join Pakistan nor India. But later he favored joining Pakistan. But since Hyderabad was located somewhere in the central part of India, far away from Pakistan, so it was not practical for Hyderabad to join in Pakistan. It was surrounded by India all around, from all the four sides. From all the sides, it was surrounded by India. So Indian troops invaded Hyderabad in 1948 and they captured Hyderabad, and from thence onward, Hyderabad is a part of India. The Nazim of Hyderabad filed a case against India in United Nations organization in 1948, but nothing of significance have happened ever since. Right? Hyderabad became a part of India. Junagadh was another state. It was located 300 miles south of Karachi. Its population was mostly non-Muslims, but the ruler of this state was a Muslim and he wanted to join Pakistan. But again, Indian troops invaded it and they took control of the area. They took control of Junagadh. Right? So it became a part of India. Now we will talk about the Kashmir issue. The prince or the ruler of Kashmir was a non-Muslim. His name was Hari Singh. He was the Maharaja of Kashmir. And Kashmir was located on a very important strategic place. Strategically, Kashmir's location is very important. It had boundaries with Tibet, China, Afghanistan, and Russia. So it was a very important point from, if you talk about from economic perspective or from trade perspective. So Kashmir's location was very important. However, Kashmir's ruler was a non-Muslim. His name was Hari Singh. But the population of Kashmir was mainly consisted of Muslims. So obviously the population wanted to join Pakistan. But the ruler of Kashmir in the beginning, he wanted to have Kashmir as an independent entity. But later he declared that he will accede to India. Right? His treatment of his subjects were very pathetic, very poor. That is why several Muslims fled from Kashmir in order to have refuge in Pakistan. So this cruel ruler forced Muslims to run away from Kashmir and take refuge in Pakistan. And Pakistanis wanted to have Kashmir as a part of Pakistan. But the Maharaja of Kashmir wanted to accede to India. This solution was not acceptable to Pakistan. Therefore, there was an armed battle between Pakistan and India in 1948. And Pakistan was quite close to capturing Kashmir. But India ran to United Nations organization and the matter was referred to UNO. And a ceasefire was arranged. Right? When this matter was referred to UNO, there was an immediate ceasefire between Pakistan and India, and it was decided that there would be a referendum in Kashmir. But this referendum never took place. Nehru agreed that there would be a referendum once the situation becomes normal. But this referendum was never happened in Kashmir. And Kashmir issue is a major source of dispute between Pakistan and India. If we talk from geographical point of view, Kashmir should be a part of Pakistan. But due to the bad treatment of the bad behavior of India, they unjustifiably took control of Kashmir, and Kashmir dispute remains a major source of discontentment between Pakistan and India. Okay students, that is all for today. I want you to go through page number 112, 113 and 114. Go through the text so that you can have a better understanding. That is all for today. Goodbye.